Double C in 2021, is he still a beast? Let's find out in this video. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdom video. My name is Legend Ronnie and today we dedicate this video to Double C or Cao Cao. The question is he still very useful in Rise of Kingdoms? He's one of the oldest commanders. You start with this commander. Basically, the first keys that you open and you get this commander. To answer you the question as honestly as possible, in KvK 1, 2, 3, this commander is a beast and this commander will remain to be a beast in KvK 1, 2, and 3, because the way KvK 1, 2, and 3 works right now is very paced, which means that you no longer use Season of Conquest commanders during KvK 3. So now kingdoms that finish KvK 3 and they end the Season of Conquest, they are about 280 days old, some probably less, some a little bit more, but none of them reach the 300 days during KvK 3. So it's finally over, the struggle is over of new players meeting Zenobias and Guanyus and Trajans and Nebus in KvK 3. That has ended. So now Double C and many of the other commanders have various different roles and various different utilities, a lot more than you can think about, especially during KvK 1, 2, and 3. But to answer the question, is it worth it to invest in this commander, like spending universal sculptures? Should you do that? And the answer is no. None of the commanders that come from gold keys. You should not invest your universal sculptures. So that includes Charles Martel, that includes El Cid, Mehmed, Frederick, Julius Caesar, whichever other commanders drops from the gold keys, you should try to maximize him or get him as optimal as possible for field fighting from the gold keys. For example, my Charles Martel was maxed from the gold keys. You see my Double C is 5-4-5-5. I only need 4 sculptures and I'm not using it. I have 246. I'm not using those 4 universals just to expertise him, because it's not worth it. But in KvK 1, 2, and 3, if you wanna get this commander either from the gold keys and from the daily special offer, then you should definitely do it. As more skills, or if you manage to max skill him from the daily special offer, it will definitely bring you a lot of benefits for those KvKs. Now the most optimal way how this commander can be used is as a 5-1-5-5 commander. Now that's very hard to obtain, and to be very honest, mine was 5-4-5-4 and 5-4-5-1 if I remember correctly, and then it just started going on the last one instead of maxing the second. So it's all randomness about the skills, how do they land. But if you're lucky enough, 5-1-5-5, that's the way to go. 5-1-1-1-1, that's the start on how you can use this commander, including for field fighting KvK 1, 2, and 3. In Season of Conquest, we're gonna talk about that. In Season of Conquest is mostly a barb killer. That's why it's not worth it to spend universal sculptures. I've done a video when you reach Season of Conquest, like giving some advices like which commander you should invest on when you reach Season of Conquest. So having as many universal sculptures as possible when you reach Season of Conquest, you will be on the driver's seat. If you don't do that and you reach Season of Conquest with almost none or next to 0 universal sculptures, then I would highly recommend that you should do KvK 2 and 3 again rather than playing Season of Conquest, because you get unlocked about, I don't want to lie, but maybe 20-25 commanders or more just right off the bat. So if you don't have the universal sculptures to work a little bit on some of them and get some much better optimized pairs, that's not going to look very good for you. So make sure you save your universal sculptures. You see, even my El Cid is 70 sculptures away to be max skill, and El Cid is still a very useful commander for Season of Conquest if you're lacking archer commanders especially if you're lacking a pair for YSG. LC and YSG is a very nice pair and very common pair to use with archers, but I'm not spending those because there is so many Season of Conquest commanders that have so much better value than Double C, Charles Martel, or El Cid. So you definitely want to spend Universal Sculptures on those. Now a couple more things about commanders since I'm talking about, just to be real quick. Talents only apply from the primary commander. Equipment only works from the primary commander. Your second in command only works the skills. I just showed you the cost in terms of stars and sculptures. So that's why legendary commanders are very expensive. So you don't want to throw away universal sculptures on just random commanders. For KvK 1, 2 and 3, a very well-known pair for Double C is with Minamoto. And this is why people use him now in the Season of Conquest. Minamoto and Double C is a well-known pair for forts. But to be very honest, if you have Xiangyu, which is a Season of Conquest commander, if you have this bad boy, if you have him max skill and you put a max skill Minamoto second to him for force, they just do much better. Or even if you put Double C, like Xiangyu primary and Double C second, still works better than Minamoto and Double C. So it's entirely up to you how you want to destroy forts in Season of Conquest, because they are very strong. Much stronger than the Lost Kingdom. The ones that you know, level 6 to 10 in Season of Conquest is 11 to 15. They are definitely strong. So these commanders are still very good for those forts. But in KvK 1, 2 and 3, like I was mentioning, Minamoto and Double C is a well-known pair that has been used for field fighting. But if you're not spending, like you don't want to max Minamoto, which to be very honest is one of the cheapest legendaries in Rise of Kingdoms. Him and Barca. Now I'm not saying that Barca is really that useful. He will definitely need a rework, and probably some of these KvK 1, 2 and 3 commanders might need a little bit of a touch, especially El Cid, but let's not get on that part. I was just mentioning that Minamoto and Barca, they are the cheapest ones, the cheapest commanders in RoK. Another very well-known pair for Double C is with Pelagius. You put Pelagius first, you put Double C second, is a very nice synergy. I was using this for a very long time, even on this account. You have Rage Restoration on Pelagius and Rage Restoration on Double C. You have Healing on Pelagius, Healing on Double C. You have Attack on Pelagius, you have Attack on Double C. So doing a lot of damage factor-wise, this is a very nice pair to use for Cavs, but you have to put Pelagius first. Even that he is an epic, don't be afraid about that. You will still do great, and Double C seconds is all because of the skill talent tree. When you're playing your KvK 1, 2 and 3, it all depends what is your purpose as a player. Like, what style do you want to play? Like, do you want to be an aggressive player? You want to be a skill damage type of player? And I'm saying it's skill damage, but when you check the skill, it says direct damage factor. I just like to call it skill damage. Or you just want to be a very defensive player, you just like to have good trades, you want to check all the time the reports and make sure you don't fill your hospital that much, but you're also not doing a lot of skills and kills, skills and kills. While being a skill damage player, you're doing a lot of damage, you're taking a lot of damage, but you're also doing a lot of kills. So it all depends how you want to shape your account. But this all starts from KvK 1, 2 and 3. Because if you invest in commanders like Charles Martel, like Constantine and Richard, and then you get to the Season of Conquest, and one player with cabs is completely demolishing you, and you're wondering what's going on. He's using like C and Chandragupta, Saladin and William, he's using like Ramses with YSG, Artemisia with YSG, and he just melts you down, and you have the most defensive and tanky marches that the Rise of Kingdoms can provide, and you still lost so bad. Well, that's what a lot of damage does. So it all depends how you like to play or how you like to create your playstyle. And for free to play and low spender, I always recommend going with a lot of skill damage rather than being very defensive. because it comes to a point where if you don't have the stats, very good alliances will not receive you. So if you want to make a lot of skills, you want to think ahead, starting from KvK 1. Various other combinations that have been done with double C throughout the past, Aethelflaed and double C, Aethelflaed being first and double C being second. Not very happy about the March, but it works. Saladin and double C also very good. Genghis and double C is well known, can be used in KvK 2 because Saladin and Genghis will be unlocked in KvK 2 or towards the end of KvK 2 or maybe even KvK 3. I think it's kind of sidetracking now because they paced the KvK 1, 2 and 3. They are all fast forwarded. You get them very, very fast. So I think you don't get the MGEs as fast as you should, but still very, very good marches to use and brings you a lot of good results. Now, if I would have to pair commanders, I like to do Saladin and Genghis. I like to do Saladin and Aethelflaed. Those are really, really nice marches to use. Double C is working as a second in command, and I like to keep him as a second in command, either to Pelagius, either to Genghis, even second to Saladin if you're out of option. But Saladin is such a beast of a commander that it just works with anyone. So you want to make sure that you give the best of the best for Saladin, especially if you have a max skill YSG, you definitely want to put that with a Saladin. Now, regarding Season of Conquest, I already said that he's being used for rallies, but his other purpose and why I keep him as a second in command is because if you keep him as a second in command, you can have something like barbing talents, something like this. Or you could have some super fast mobility. He is the MVP for mobility, the king of mobility. There is no faster commander in the game than him, because he has the peacekeeping, which gives you a total of 18% march speed to your cabs. You have the mobility tree, and the most important part, you have the max points on hasty departure, and then you have a little bit of the cav tree, which brings double C to the fastest commander in RoK. So this is the two things he's still being very useful in Season of Conquest: barbing and mobility. Now, what does mobility help you? Well, either in Arc, capturing the Arc, or capturing the obelisk, or capturing the structures, or just going for runes. You want a very, very fast march to go get your rune? There you have it. If you would have to put double C primary for fighting, then you will need a total different talent tree, which I don't want to involve you in that because it's just not worth it. There is much better commanders to be used as primary. Is he useful for rallies? Like, is anyone using him for rallies, like rallying flags or forts or passes? Well, barbarian passes, yes. KvK 1, 2 and 3. Any barbarian objectives, structures that you need to take. The Ziggurat, Ruined Crusader Fortress, Lost Temple, because you have to take the Lost Temple in your home kingdom as well. He's very useful for that as well. Minamoto and Double C are the best in slot for that. Even though some of the structures, I think they might not be considered barbarians, but to be honest, the buildings go down so easy that I don't think anyone really cares to find out. If you have to rally objectives in KvK 1, like passes, flags of your opponents, YSG is a much better choice than trying to rally with cabs or with Minamoto and Double C. You have YSG and Mehmed, YSG and Frederick are the best in slot. LC than YSG if you really want to go pure archers. But the results might just be better with a YSG and Frederick or a YSG and Mehmed. And once you reach KvK 2, you have Edward and Tomyris and various other newish commanders. You have Saladin, you have Migrants, they have Alex, and things are changing and evolving. So I hope that answers the rallying question. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think? Double C still remains a beast, a very useful commander, now that KvK 1, 2 and 3 has been fixed. I would like to hear your thoughts. Until next time, this is your boy Geroni, signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there, my friends.